What's up, everybody, and welcome to the show. This podcast episode is brought to you by IBOW Training. As you know, we talk about training pretty frequently here on the show, and the IBOW has some amazing people that they work with in their network. Are you a designer, rapper, sign maker, or beyond? If you want to invest in your creativity for the future, IBOW Training is the right choice. IBOW is the nation's first training organization to offer training in all aspects of the rap industry, from quoting, design, printing, production, and installation. They offer a variety of training options such as training at your shop, group training classes nationwide, and even private design and print profile training through remote login. With trainers nationwide, IBOW offers support day and night by phone, and many of their trainers are within a day's reach for emergencies. IBOW is growing and will continue to support the industry in a positive manner. For more information, please visit ibowtraining.com. We are also brought to you by We Print Wraps. We Print Wraps is the industry's #1 source for wholesale printed wraps. How easy is it to order wraps? Well, all you have to do is sell the job. Go to weprinkwraps.com, choose your desired film for the installation, upload your design, and if you're not a designer, no problem. They can design one for you and get your wraps delivered right to your door. They offer free nationwide shipping all across the U.S. and Canada on all orders over $500. And for exclusive listeners of the All Wrapped Up podcast, you can get 5% promo code when you type in the word All Wrapped Up at checkout to save on your next order today. Less risk, no overhead, wholesale printing. See why the industry pros love them. To get more information, visit weprinkwraps.com. Our next guest is from Vivid Wraps. Please give it up for the great and powerful Nick Durante. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to All Wrapped Up podcast. We'll be interviewing industry-leading rap companies to share tips, tricks, stories, and more. All right, Nick, what's going on, brother?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just glad this day is over with. Running some issues with some material, but you know how it is.
Oh yeah. Little mix up in material and trying to push the limits and finding out it, probably not going to work.
Yeah. Find out the worst time when the customer's getting ready to pick the vehicle up, and you got to tell them it's going to have to wait till tomorrow because has some issues with the laminate. So. Do you want to indulge a little bit? I know we talked about it off air, but. Basically, we just had a mix up with the material. We were doing some window perf for a vehicle, and they actually have two types of laminate, and one's made for flat glass and the other is made for curved glass. And of course we needed the curved glass, and we didn't pay too much attention to it as we were putting it on, and put the flat glass laminate. And so when we started wrapping around the curve of the window, we noticed it was like curling back and kind of releasing itself from the print. So then I was like, something's not right. So I went back and looked at the box and realized that it was the flat glass laminate that they sent us instead of the curve.
That's crazy. And what's funny is that I didn't even know there was such thing as flat or curved laminate for perf. I thought it was just regular perf. You use it for everything.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Actually, they have different perfs for different types of printers. I ran into that issue too, where they sent me window perf that is only compatible with eco solvent and solvent printers and not latex. And then we went and printed on it, and when we pulled the backing off, it was like you couldn't even see through the holes.
Oh, it was all gummed up.
Yeah, it was like the ink went straight across the holes and covered the holes up. And come to find out, they have a special backing that's a little bit thicker and sticks farther away from the face of the material, so that the ink falls down in it and doesn't bridge over the holes of the perf.
Oh,
so yeah, it's crazy how many different applications there are for latex printers.
Yeah. As soon as you make the kind of switch from, eco solvent or solvent to latex, it's a completely different animal. You're so used to buying what you buy and it usually works. Yeah. Now it's, with the water-based inks, it's a completely different animal. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know about well, I knew there was different types of films. I'm like, what I used at my shop was the, Solvex? No, was it Solvex?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Solvex, Perf, I think it was, right?
Yeah, so they make Solvex makes I think it's called, Solvex.
Bunch of numbers and letters. I don't know why they do that. It drives me nuts.
It's got a latex number behind it, like LX or something like that, Solvex LX or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's made for the here it is. Nah, that's not it. I'm looking in my Fellers book right now.
Good old Fellers. Gotta
love Fellers. They're awesome.
Are they close to you, or do you get drop shipped?
Yeah, I actually have a distribution center within maybe 4 or 5 miles of me.
Wow, close, yeah.
So, and then actually one of the head rep guys actually lives in Cincinnati. So he's here all the time. We help him out with some beta testing and test out different materials and new tools that they're wanting to bring into the Fellers catalog, but not sure, if they should bring them in yet. So we do a lot of beta testing for that. We actually did I seen that you just wrapped a vehicle with the cheetah wrap.
With the cheetah wrap. Yeah, my first time, man.
How'd you like it?
I was blown away. I was literally blown away by. I was given the worst case circumstances. So I'm wrapping my brother-in-law's Mustang, and he's been talking about, painting it. And I'm like, I know you're a big engine guy, and you're all about the power. Why are you going to waste your money painting it? I told him, hey, buy this, buy this product, whatever color you want. I don't give a shit. I'll wrap it for free.
Yeah.
Just so I can get my hands on it. Cause I don't have, me working at Wrap Solutions. We're using Avery Dennison, some 3M. We're using what everybody uses. No one, you're not going into a reputable shop and then they're pulling cheetah wrap off the shelves to wrap cars.
For sure.
At least as far as the ones I know. So I'm like, let's check it out. You know what I mean? So he has this makeshift tent thing. Well, not makeshift, but it's a nice tent to put the car in. You can work on it. But it was hot as balls in that. It was a hot box in there, man. And so we rednecked it. We put a couple ACs in there to kind of cool it down. And it did the job. It was still really humid. So you know how film gets when it's humid? It's like gum. It's just hot gum. And literally, I pulled the backer off and stuck it on the fender, and I was like, wow. It didn't tack. It was gummy, but it wasn't, it was tolerable. It really worked really well. And other than the post heating situation at the end, I'd use it on a client's car,
Yeah, so we were one of I think maybe two or three shops in the nation that beta tested it for Fellers.
Really?
And we tested it. Yeah, I got versions of the very first version of it that is way different than the final product that you guys see now. But we've been beta testing it for them for about 1.5 years now, and it just from day one it was a good product, and just from what we've told them, they've made some changes, and we loved it since the day we started wrapping with it. I actually got I got probably 10 rolls sitting in my shop right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the mats are awesome. They look good. The titanium colors, we did my brother's Honda Accord, in that blue titanium.
Yeah.
And it's just like that old Arlon color, the blue titanium that they had.
Yeah.
Just looks really, really good on the car. It installed great. It's held up. It's been on his car for about 2 years now. Haven't had a single issue out of it. But, the gloss colors, they had some issues with it right after they released it to the public. Some people were complaining that when you stretch it a lot, it starts to turn satin. And so we went back and did some more testing with them, and they changed some things on it. And I believe they fixed the problem, but, it's like with any other film, you overstretch it, it starts changing colors or losing colors. And
right.
People just didn't understand. And I think with them having such a low price point that they were getting a lot of inexperienced installers installing it. And that's where they were getting that bad feedback from, just because they just didn't know how to install the film.
Right. Right. And I said it a few times, when it was brought up, that it really caters more to the DIYs. And I think it's a great product for the DIY installer. I think it gives them a lot of leeway in installing it incorrectly and being able to fix the problem, as opposed to getting jammed up and not being able to know what to do for a higher price point. But I was super impressed. What we used was the satin. The satin laid down really nice. I haven't seen any of the other colors in person. I've only seen kind of like what's online, but it seems like they got a pretty good selection of colors. All the standard stuff that you're gonna use. But the price point, I mean, you really cannot beat that. And as an experienced installer, I would like absolutely hold it to all the other brands out there in competition,
Yeah, I mean, we definitely offer it to our customers. It's definitely not our first go-to to show them.
Right.
But if they're looking for a certain color, or we get a lot of customers that want to do the matte chrome that gives that anodized look.
Yeah.
And then when you tell them the price of it, they freak out. So the next alternative is a color like the blue aluminum or the silver aluminum that Cheetah Wraps has. And, it's in their price range, and it's easier for us to install.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, so we kind of use it as that, tool towards, those kind of customers that want that special chromey look, but not pay that price.
Right. Or even the price itself. I think it would suit any wrap shop well, because, I mean, there's going to be people that are going to undercut you or already have a price in their mind for the wrap, as opposed to doing, $3,500 wrap, for a normal color. Hey, you want to do $2,850? You want to do $2,750? We got a cheaper alternative, and we can apply this. You're still not working like an asshole, because the material still works the way it's supposed to, but the price point's a little lower, so you can save on that. Your money's in the install anyways.
It is.
We all know the money's in the installation, and the disassembly of whatever you got to take off, or if you don't take anything off, perfect. You're making a ton of money still. I mean, what are you saving? A couple $100, a few $100? But at the end of the day, it definitely comes down to dollars. And if you can get 2 jobs as opposed to none, I think that's a win,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing that you guys were doing the beta testing. That's how long of a duration did you guys do the beta testing before they actually released it? A couple of years?
It was about 1.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was about 1.5 years long until they said that we're gonna go with it, because it was always up in the air from the beginning. Like, Frank wanted to make sure that it was completely, the best product that he could possibly put out, before he did this, because there was a lot of controversy that he may piss a lot of people off, but so.
It was only a matter of time before he came out with his own product. I mean,
Yeah.
He's built a really great business, and it's catered to the industry, and it was only a matter of time before he came up with something for us other than being a distribution center.
Yeah.
For all the stuff. So, I mean, good for him for taking that leap and standing his ground and coming out with a great product. I mean, I think I messaged him and said that I was very, very impressed with the product, that, I'd hope to use it in the future, again, but it was, I was very impressed. Given my circumstance, given that I usually work in 32-degree weather, climate controlled, comfortable, not dripping sweat, and honestly, it went on like I was in a climate controlled location, and I wasn't fighting it. I mean, other than being physically uncomfortable because it's hot.
Yeah.
I wasn't fighting the material to put it on. It didn't give me any issues. And, other than the whole, that's big process at the end of, heating everything up prior to moving onto the next panel. But honestly, couple minutes, hitting up all the edges and all the exposed edges and the areas to see if I missed anything. Other than that, honestly, I do the same thing with Avery. So
yeah,
whatever. It's the same steps for me. I'm still trying to get into the Avery thing. I'm still figuring it all out. It's such a different animal jumping from 3M to Avery, man.
Yeah, we're definitely a 3M shop here. I hold the training classes here, the certification class and the beginner classes for the Avery wrap classes.
Yeah.
And for a while we switched to Avery, but we were having some issues with the laminate, sticking to the wrap material after we printed on it with the latex printer. So we jumped back to 3M, and when we get jobs from Wrap Solutions, we do a lot of your guys' handymans down here.
Yeah.
And it's just always, different going from working with 3M all day long and then
Avery.
An Avery job comes in. Yeah. Even though it's real similar, but there's just some little things that, just are a little bit different about it. But
oh, yeah. I was just talking to Keith about it today. We were having lunch/dinner, mid-afternoon, just, went to the nines and sat down after dropping off a client's car. And, I think the biggest jump is the whole, let's just say you're trying to register something, right? And you're just like a fucking, I don't know, a C hair off, right? And you got to give it a little nudge over, right? Well, you got a little bit of gather. With 3M, you could just torch that real quick and the shit will lay flat and sink in. Avery doesn't do that right away. You gotta heat it and then come back a minute or two later, and then all of a sudden it's flat the way you want it. You can't.
Yeah, and if you put a zipper in Avery, it takes forever to get it to come back out.
I know. Yeah.
It's just
sucks.
But Avery does hold, I feel, better in like the deep crevices on the Ford Transits and stuff around like the window areas.
Yep.
I feel like the Avery does hold down there a lot better than 3M does.
The tack that, the initial tack is, very, it's less than 3M, I feel. But if you let that shit sit for a while, it really sets up.
Yeah.
It's on there. I removed a box truck yesterday that was done, I don't know, maybe a year, 2 years, give or take. That stuff was on there. Like, it literally, my fingertips hurt because it kind of took a little bit of the top layer off, and it was literally on there. And I redid a hood that got messed up about a month ago, and it was the Supreme wrap.
Yeah.
And dude, when we laid it went on like butter, and it was all good. And I'm like, oh, all right, post heat it, a couple spots. hit those spots up. And damn, I took it off yesterday too to fix it, and that stuff was on there. When it sets up, it's the adhesive's good.
Yeah.
Especially what you're saying, around those areas too,
Yeah, when it comes to solid color change material, Avery's are definitely the go-to when it comes to like their gloss colors. Besides that, it's just pretty much what the customer wants. From there, it's either 3M or Avery we push everybody to. Now, about a month ago, we've had a little kick to where we started using some Oracal.
Yeah, what do you think about it? A little aggressive?
Oh my god,
dude, come on,
that stuff is ridiculous. They got a great finish, they got great colors, and they look so good, and it's just you got to have multiple hands, on the job to do it. Otherwise, you get some glue marks.
Yeah.
But and then also we were like finishing up a panel, come back to it, and all the edges were starting to peel back a little bit. So we go and we push them back down and post heat them, and next thing you know, we come back the next day and they're peeling right back up again. We're like, what the hell? So I called up one of my buddies up in he has a shop up in Dayton, and I know that he's been doing a couple wraps. And I said, man, have you experienced this? He goes, every car I do is like that with the Oracal. And he said he reached out to some people, and they said that you got to post heat it to 230 degrees, and you got to do it like 3 to 5 times, and then it'll eventually stay down. I'm like, serious? So, we just got done wrapping this Aston Martin DBS, with the Oracal, and then we put a matte laminate on it, so it's like super thick, super tacky.
Double whammy.
Yeah. Yeah, so like none of the edges were staying down. This is a $355,000 car that we're working on, and it just was so frustrating. And finally, that's when I called him, and he told me to do that. So we did it, and we post heated it like 3 to 4 times to 230 degrees, and it stayed down.
It did.
Yeah, it stayed down, and I haven't heard anything from the customer at all. So I'm guessing it's good to go, but it was just like very, very like, upsetting at first, because like, man, we put all this time into this car and we want it to be perfect, and like all these edges are just peeling back, but it's holding now. So I guess that's the key, it's just
230 degrees.
230 degrees about 3 to 5 times.
3 to 5. Isn't 230 degrees enough one time?
I know.
I think it killed the memory on the first time, no?
For sure. Like,
oh
it's
my
scary
God.
too. Like,
yeah, the paint.
Yeah, heating up a car that hot,
That can't be 100% good.
Yeah.
It's got to be doing something.
Yeah.
God, so are you heating the whole panel to 230 or just your edges?
Just the edges.
Just the edges, huh?
Yeah, just the edges.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, that's an annoying last piece step of the puzzle,
Sure.
Oh.
So, yeah, we're kind of like staying away from Oracal for a while.
Yeah, not to say they don't have a good product, but...
Oh, no, yeah, but I really do. I talked to the rep, and I really need to get some training going on. We talked about doing some classes here, because, like I said, I do the Avery classes, and then now we're starting to do, 3M's starting to do the Style Your Ride class, where they teach in knifeless tape and doing stripes and custom stripes with the knifeless tape. So we're going to be hosting that in about a month here, and then I got another certification. So I talked to the Oracal guy, rep, and he's gonna try to get us a class here to where.
There you go. Are you dealing with Josh?
No, he's a new rep. He's a new rep in our area. I think his name is Bob.
Bob. Okay.
Yeah, he said that he used to be in the automotive side, and then he went to the safety commercial reflective side for a while.
Yeah.
And then he's just now back into the automotive side now.
Let me tell you something. We use Oracal's reflective. You brought up reflective. Now I'm gonna gripe on that. The reflective, dude. Holy holy shit. Like, there's no play with their, even though it's, I think they call it the RA or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I think it's like the 3650 RA or something like that.
Something like that. I don't know. It's supposed to be a little bubble free. Yeah, it's bubble free, but you only got one chance to put it on. Like, there's no picking that thing back up. Right?
Yeah, I've used that stuff before.
It's great. It's great. But you see most of our stuff, a lot of our fleet stuff, well, I'd probably say, well, I don't know what the percentage is, but I know we do a shit ton of ambulances. Like, we have 6 in our parking lot right now. So,
jeez, I got one coming next week.
It's a lot of reflective we're using. We're buying a lot of reflective. It's crazy. And it's great. But holy shit. So I've been using the technique of just peeling a little bit of the backer off, sticking it, squeegeeing it, putting a little bit more of the backer off. Our installers were like trying to 2-guy it or trying to peel the whole thing off and stick it on. And then they were creating issues. It was becoming a problem. So we're like, me and Keith are like brainstorming like, oh, well, we just do it this way, and that's the way we do it, and I don't know why they're doing it the other way, but whatever. But we end up finding out we can use, I don't know what type of slip chemistry or whatever it is in this bottle, but we ended up wet applying it. Whether it works, it works. So that's a good thing. It works. But I would have never thought you could put reflective on wet.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Is it Rap Attack? Is that what you guys are using?
No, dude. We didn't use Rap Attack, which would be the obvious thing to use if you're going to do it that way. It was some type of like automotive material that we ended up getting that one of our installers had. And he uses that as a slip solution. If he has to wet apply something, it's a green. I don't know. I don't even think the bottle that it's in is what it is. I think it was just like filled up in that bottle. But I would have never thought to apply reflective on wet.
Yeah, because most of the time it says do not wet apply.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, because you think the stuff's made out of crushed glass or whatever.
Yeah.
And once the adhesive gets wet, it's usually toast. We all know it's just like, oh fuck, that piece got to get replaced. It is what it is. But if you actually heat it up, as soon as you're done squeegeeing all the water out and you heat it up really good at the end, post heat it, it actually stays. The edges don't lift. It gives us a little bit of play, like a couple minutes to figure out positioning. And I tell you, we probably did like 3 of them already, and it went on like a breeze. I couldn't believe it. A little trick.
So, how many installers does Keith have up there now?
A lot.
Does he?
So in our like, I'd probably say like our home base, where the shop's out of, I would be probably considered the main installer, which is me. Keith helps out. Keith's brother's coming on next week to help out too. But all the in-house stuff that we do, I basically touch. And Jill will come in and help. I mean, it's all, it is. It's all hands on deck when we need it. If it's something small and kind of just easy that I can handle, I'll do it. But we have other installers, 2 groups of installers that are satellite locations.
Gotcha.
Which are, there's a lot. I mean, our volume. You've had conversations with Keith. We're probably wrapping, I don't know, 5 to 8 cars a day.
Yeah.
Between locations. I mean, today we wrapped a van, and we got it done before lunch. Me and Keith wrapped the whole van.
Yeah.
A few hours. So, I mean, we crank. It's nice, and the production is good, with the 3 designers, 1, 2, 3, 4 printers, one person, kind of laminating everything, cutting everything, and drop shipping and whatnot. It's a very well-oiled machine in the shop. Nobody gets jammed up. Everybody helps each other and kind of keeps everything rolling. It's nice. It's crazy the amount of work we can pump out of a smaller shop.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys basically do the same thing too, right?
Yeah, well, for the most part, we don't have any, like I've only been, next month, actually 2 weeks, I'll be in business for 5 years.
5 years.
And,
nice.
Yeah. And before that, I wasn't in this industry.
Damn.
I came from, working in the custom car industry. I used to build custom hot rods and custom cars. I owned a upholstery shop for a little while, and I did everything from building custom interiors to stereo, enclosed stereo trunks, doing all the custom stuff there, to sewing and installing leather seats and everything that has to do with, building a custom car.
Wow.
And one day we had a customer come in, and we had his Range Rover there, and he brought us a roll of material he bought off eBay. And he was like, "Can you guys put this on for me?" And we're like, "I mean, we can try. I mean, we wrap stuff in leather, I'm sure we can figure this out." And so we started wrapping this Range Rover, and the actual material that we used was the 3M 1080 brushed blue steel.
Jesus.
So that was our first time wrapping a car, was with brushed material, which is, I don't know if you ever used it before. It's some of the hardest material to use.
It is, yeah.
Because of the grain.
Right.
And we found out the hard way. We get done wrapping the hood and the trunk, and we get most of the car done, and we stand back. We're like, "Man, why has that got a big dent in it?"
Oh, yeah. Overstretched.
We started looking at it like, yeah, you're like feeling it. Like when you pop it back up with your fingertips go through. If you don't heat it, let it relax back out, it stays in there. So we learned definitely the hard way that, you got to make sure you lay that stuff down smooth and not pull it back up or overstretch it. So that's how it all started, and then we started doing more and more cars at that shop, with vinyl wraps. And, I did that there for probably 2-3 years. And then I got contacted by a local sign shop, that did mostly large format printing, like banners and signs. And they wanted to, get into the wrap industry, and they needed some installers. So, my brother actually was working there at the time, and he was sewing the banners for them. So that's how he found out about me, is, he contacted me and asked me if I wanted to come work for him. So I did. And I started wrapping cars there for about, I don't know, maybe 8 months or so. And then one day, me and my brother walked in, and we couldn't clock in or anything like that. My tool was missing out of my toolbox, and we went up front and like, "What's going on?" They're like, "You two are out of here," like they were like pissed off, and they wouldn't tell us why. And they never did to this day tell us why they were firing us. But the only thing I can think of is that they were trying to get this big printer, and we were kind of slow at the time there with the vehicle wrap part of it. So I figured they just let us go because they weren't making no money on us and off of us, and they needed some extra cash for this printer. So,
Jesus.
So me and my brother, we left there, and as soon as we left there, we called some people that we knew and asked if they needed some help installing. So we kind of just became subcontractors and was traveling, from anywhere local all the way up to Columbus,
Wow.
Which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and just installing whatever we could. And that lasted for, a few months. And then finally, I decided to get an LLC and came up with the name and started promoting myself. And then, we started getting busier and busier. I actually rented a shop with my uncle who I did upholstery with. And it was a little, 2,500 square foot building. And finally we started getting more and more work, to where I needed a little bit of help with some other guys. So I found some installers to come help us. And, I never had a printer or anything like that in the beginning. And and I was using designers to help design wraps. And it got to the point to where like the designers was just not getting my vision. You know, they weren't understanding my vision, and I was getting so frustrated. So I decided to apply to YouTube University.
Nice.
And,
the best free university out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I taught myself how to use Photoshop and Illustrator, and I started doing the design work. And
wow, that's
you know,
that's a lot of work. Just the design part.
It is
a lot of work. Just figuring out how to make a business card is a lot of work for someone who doesn't know that aspect. And here you are trying to figuring it out and applying that to wraps. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then not knowing anything about it, you know, designing files, and you're trying to send it to a printer that's 12 gigs.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, this is too big. I can't open it. It's taking like 5 hours to download it.
Oh, God.
So, yeah,
I've done that once or twice.
Yeah, it was a hot mess for a while. And then I started figuring things out and talking to other people and figuring out you got to design in 20th scale or 10th scale. And,
right.
You know,
get those file sizes down just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, after that, you know, I started doing good with getting, you know, more and more clientele. My name was moving around, you know, the city, and then we ended up moving to a bigger location. I had one of my customers come to me and ask me if they could invest.
Wow.
You know, into Vivid Wraps, and you know, I said, of course, you know. So we sat down and found a bigger location. They gave me a little bit of money to buy my printers and get the building the way I needed it. We actually moved into like a 7,500 square foot building.
Wow.
Right out in a little town called Mason, and the actual intersection in front of our building was like voted like the busiest intersection in Ohio. So
it's a good place to be.
Yeah. So we have it's actually a rich, you know, a rich neighborhood. You know, it's not uncommon to see Lamborghinis and Ferraris driving around. But yeah, that was actually a good move for us because, you know, we just skyrocketed in our walk-in traffic and customers. And, you know, long story short, you know, almost 5 years later, I got 12 employees, and, you know, I can use about 10 more.
Oh, shit.
But, yeah, I mean, it's been great. You know, I got my brother's still working for me. He's my main installer. And then I got, 3 guys that I'm training right now who are all within their first year, but they're killing it. You know, they learning really, really quick and doing a great job at it. And of course, I'm an installer, so whenever they need help, I can go out and help them when I'm not running the business.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a production manager and a production assistant. And then I got 3 other designers. And then my wife works for me too. She came into the business about 3 years ago when I was having troubles keeping track of all the booking and paying taxes and all that good stuff.
Mm.
So, and then I got a girl that works up front who answers phones, helps customers, and she's pretty much our day-to-day production manager. She keeps track of everything, makes sure the guys, you know, get everything done on time, checks the cars in and out.
Yeah.
You know, and takes care of all the customers.
Nice. You got a serious operation going on there. for only 5 years, man. I know it's a lot.
Moved so quick. It's happened so fast, and to be honest with you, I've never ran a business. I've always been an installer, and I kind of just like jumped into this, you know, with no expectations and just let it go. However, whatever happens, you know, and, you know, my wife was like super scared at first, you know, when I first made the jump to go on my own, but, you know, she's seen my passion and, you know, let me do it. Thank God. And, she's definitely been my rock on that side, my supporter, and it's been good.
Yeah, it's a tough gig because, do you have kids?
Yeah, we have, when I actually made the jump, we just had our first daughter. So that's one of the things that was like, she was like, man, like,
really?
Yeah. She went from a corporate job to, basically babysitting at a home daycare.
Yeah.
And, wasn't making the greatest money. And I went from making decent money with what I was doing to, all right, I'm just going to do this and hope for the best. And so, yeah, we actually have 2 kids now. I have my daughter's 6 and my son is 4.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's same here. When I had started my business, even from home, we had just had my oldest one at that time back in 2005. And, it's scary because you got to have that security. Either one person has a really good job and you're able to kind of figure it all out and hope for the best within, 52 weeks of a whole year to figure it out before your wife's like, hey, come on. It's either a hobby or we're gonna, be all in on this thing. So, it's scary. It's scary even for a couple, you know what I mean? Just you and your wife only, but to add a kid to the mix, the security and the, the life-changing things you might have going on. Now it's trickling down to, okay, well, we got to make sure there's diapers and there's food all the time. And
kids are expensive.
Kids are very expensive. They have to have their things. And, God knows you can live off of macaroni and cheese for a little while, but for an infant, you got to buy formula if they're not breastfeeding. And that's $50, $60 like a can. Diapers aren't cheap. They're shitting and pissing every 5 seconds. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's so expensive, but you find a way to work it out. And, it's right now, honestly, you only being 5 years in. So, go back 2014.
Yep.
Or so. That was like pretty much prime time for the industry. Right around then. Things were kind of already figured out. The printer things were coming along. They were kind of going down on pricing. Training was a little bit more semi-available back then. But it was like a perfect storm, perfect place, how things kind of marinated together, Yeah,
I feel like I definitely got in at the right time. It was just after the recession and all that good stuff. And, it started getting more and more popular on social media. And I started off as a solid color change company. We specialized in doing higher end cars and just doing color change wraps. And, then I finally, had the investor that, we got the money to buy printers and go that route, which now my business, I'm trying to lean it more towards the commercial side. Because to be honest, you make more money doing that. And like right now I have, 3 cars sitting here, a Dodge Demon. We just finished a full wrap with jams.
Wow.
We're in the middle of a Lamborghini Huracan that's getting full wrap with jams in brushed black steel. And then we have a McLaren 720S that's getting a full wrap that's waiting to get done next that we're starting to tear down.
Shit.
And these jobs are taking, 2.5, 3 weeks to do. And I can do, we can probably do at least 2 full commercial wraps a day here with my crew and make, 4 or 5 times what we're making on these solid color change cars.
Oh yeah.
But,
it's kind of, you gotta kind of go with the demographic too. You can't say no. I mean, if you break down hours, are you still making money? Yeah. But you're working like a fucking bastard. You know what I mean? It's now given that you're doing one with brushed, here you go again. You know, one mess up on a panel, there goes what? $80, $100?
Easily.
It's just, you know, the margin of error is humongous. And, you know, can you still make out? Yeah, if you fuck up one panel, all right, whatever, just don't do it again, you know?
Yeah.
It is what it is. But, you know, the likelihood of you messing up a panel on a print, you know, one that you cannot fix is, you know,
very rare.
Very rare. You can usually fix a lot of stuff. So, yeah, dude, the commercial end. So when did you figure out the transition needed to happen as far as the commercial, getting more commercial than color?
I would say probably real soon after I got my printers.
Yeah.
I remember one of my first jobs I got when I got the printers. It was for a vending machine company, and all we did was print the wraps for them and ship them out.
Wow.
And just the money I made off that in a couple weeks of work was just a game changer to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've always said, as soon as I get the money to buy another printer, I'm doing it. And right now I have 2 printers. I want to buy a third. I'm just waiting for a couple jobs to be finalized, and I'm going to make that jump. But
wow. Are the 2 that you have now latex, both latex?
Yeah. I have both the HP Latex 360 and a 365.
Nice.
How
do you like that? Now, why the 365 platform and not like the 570s?
Pretty much the room that I have it in is my biggest thing.
Mm.
You know, just I have limited space where I have the printers at now.
Yeah.
And the 360s, they fit so nice up against the wall. You know, they don't take up that much room. You know, they're front loaded with the rolls.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, I've looked at the 570s, you know, but it definitely, you save money with it because you just bulk ink.
Huge,
yeah.
Like a huge milliliter, I think it is.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, the only reason I bought this second printer when I did is because Grimco, they actually opened up a new warehouse in Cincinnati. They didn't have one here before, and they were bringing it down for the demo, and it was a brand new unit, and I got a good chunk of money taken off of it.
Nice. Yeah, so, a floor model.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they used it for that one day, and then I saved like $4,000 or $5,000 off of it.
That's great. Especially, you know, the price you pay on top of with taxes and all that shit and whatnot. And, you know, did they bring it to you semi, you know, put together? Or
it was already all together. It was already like ready to go. They ran it for the day.
Nice.
You know, all I had to do is get the the new key for the RIP program to run 2 printers, and we were good to go. So
nice. What type of software are you using for the RIP?
We use Onyx.
Oh, Onyx, yeah. Great product, man. Great product. You know what I think one that's like underrated is the FlexiSign one.
Yeah,
the RIP software.
That's what a lot of people use that are locally around here. They always talk about that, but like I said, I'm new to this industry. You know, I was always just an installer. I always just did the solid color wrap. So, you know, all this different technology, like I've never used an eco solvent or a solvent printer.
You went straight to latex.
Straight to latex.
Got spoiled.
Yeah, the shop that I was working at before I went on my own had the latex printers, so I was always used to that.
Yeah.
So plus you don't have to have.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I was fucking rudely interrupting you.
No, like I said, it's definitely, you don't have to have the ventilation. And
yes.
It's better for the environment.
Exact words I was going to say. It's better for the environment. It's the eco solvent, the chemical smell of the rooms you walk into sometimes.
and the whole gassing out process,
yeah,
that's
a bummer.
Who wants to wait 24 to 48 hours to put a panel on if you mess something up,
Not the client. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Why isn't my car getting done? Oh, we messed up a panel. Well, why are you messing up panels? It's just not a good conversation. I mean, just that aspect alone is worth gold.
For sure.
With the latex technology. I mean, yeah, does it have its quirky moments? Sure. You don't get consistent color, all the time, when you're running multiples and you switch out a head and all that. See, that's where maybe you'll find this out when you completely dive into it. But when you're doing the fleet work and you get a new vehicle, let's just say 6 months later, now you've already changed your head however many times. You know what I mean? The inks are going to be a little different. Maybe the temperature's a little bit, hotter than it was when you first did it. And it's just a shade off. Like,
yep.
I don't know. Like that scares me because of the fact when you do a repair, it's not even you repairing the small section. Now you got to repair the whole fucking side because it doesn't match, That's annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can fix that. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, we definitely ran into that issue plenty of times where, we've done a job and they leave here and then they get an accident and got to repair a fender or something like that. And it's completely, a different color. But
sometimes you can get away with it. I mean, sometimes. I mean, I just watched. It's funny because I just watched Jamie McMullen from Bus Wraps. He had that video up on the Wrap Institute about his shop, his setup and stuff. And I think he said he had two 365s, I think it was, in the room. And his production on the buses that he'll print the front section and the back section of the bus on one printer, and he'll start printing, panels 1 through 6 on the other printer for one of the sides. And he even says it. He's like, yeah, the colors are going to be a little bit different, but nobody with a train, that doesn't have a trained eye looking for it will catch the shade lighter or darker when you're looking at the front and back compared to the sides. You're never going to catch it. And it makes sense, 100%. But if you take that down to a smaller scale where you and I are at, where it's vans, it's transits, it's, smaller vehicles, it sticks out like a sore thumb sometimes.
Yeah, and a lot of times those bus wraps are only on there for,
right,
6 months to a year. So
yeah,
these fleet vehicles, they want them to last as long as possible.
Yeah, they want to run these cars to the ground, is what I hear all the time. Yeah, we're just gonna run this thing to the ground. Oh, all right. Hope you don't think your wrap's gonna last that long. Jesus.
Yeah.
Don't call me in 10 years telling me your wrap's failing or something because you didn't wash it or clean it, and that's a whole nother demographic.
Oh, it is.
Jesus Christ. How many times can you tell somebody, just don't run it through the regular car wash?
Yeah.
Just don't. Do yourself a favor and save me, like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to say, like, basically calling you out or calling you an asshole or it's just, and then they try to hide it. It's, I don't know what happened. I just washed it. Did you run it through the wash? No. I just hand washed it. Really? you fucking half of the wrap's peeling off. How the fuck did that happen? You just holding the gun to that corner?
Yeah.
You got to remind everybody, it is a sticker. There's seams in areas, and you want to stay away. Don't wipe against the seam. Wipe with the seam. You want this shit to last. Take care of it. It's like
that, or you get the total opposite where they never, ever, ever wash it at all.
Oh yeah, geez.
They come to you and there's been bird shit that's been sitting on the hood for 8 months, and it's just embedded into the laminate, and
you're talking from experience.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, well, I think something happened here. Yeah, a bird shit on it, and you never wiped it. That's what happened. There's acid in that, man. You can't leave it on there. Oh, yeah. I thought I could just wipe it off. No, yeah, wipe it off right away, not 30 days later. Come on, dude. It's funny what people try to finagle sometimes. Always want something for nothing,
Yeah.
But, we're in the service industry. We gotta bend over backwards and make everybody happy.
Yeah, because that one time you don't, you get a bad review on Google.
That's it.
God,
that shit will
terrible.
haunt you.
I know.
Oh, you talk from experience on that one too.
Yeah, we just actually got a 2-star review like 2 weeks ago, and it's from somebody that we don't have in our system. We don't have any record of emailing or phone calls or even knowing who this guy is. He didn't write anything on the review, but nothing but a 2-star review.
That's it. Just put the 2 stars?
Yeah, just 2 stars. Didn't write anything about it. And it's just funny because we got 53 5-star reviews, and then 1 or 2 2-star reviews. It's just, and the ones that we have just have no comments on it. It's just from people that we have no record of even talking to, and it's just you don't know if it's another shop messing with you or what,
I was going to say, you got anybody out there near you that just wants to give you a 2-star?
I know. I got, there's one company in town that has it out for me, but everybody else I'm really, I got good relationships with. I actually do, printing for a few shops. I actually do installs for a few shops. I try to help out everybody I can, and the way I look at it is I'll print for you. I'll install for you. I'll take a piece of your pie,
Right.
You can say that you guys did the work. You can say that you guys print in-house. I don't care.
Yeah. Money's money, right?
Pay me my money and that's how it is.
Yeah. That's what I always said, you don't have to get you don't have to be greedy and get the whole thing. Hey, you get a 25%. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
And you didn't have to do anything. What'd you have to do? Put the files in the rip software and hit print?
Yep.
It's just,
chop them down, roll them up.
Yeah.
Hand it off to them.
That's it. And they come pick up.
Yep.
That's it. Done. That's the easiest money you'll ever make.
I know.
Because at the end of the day, if the file's wrong, it's not on you.
Exactly.
It's the one time you can say, yep, that sucks.
Yep, we'll reprint it.
Yeah. Just send me the right ones, It happens. It happens. For sure. It happened to me once when I didn't have a printer. God, I didn't know how to fucking do anything. Yeah, I'll send you the files, no problem. Send them the files, get it back. It's fucking 2 feet too short. It's fuck. What am I gonna do? It's a lesson. You know what I mean? You learn from them. It's life. You're always gonna learn something every day.
Every day.
It's just you learned your lesson today.
Yeah.
Read the box before you apply it.
Yeah, well, I normally do. It's sometimes you can't control some of your employees' thinking.
Yeah, or lack of.
Yeah. Yeah.
It happens. We're all human.
Exactly. I'm one of the coolest, most laid back bosses that you can ever have. I'm not one of those bosses that if you mess up a panel or print something wrong or whatever, I don't make you pay for it. I don't take it out of your paycheck. make sure you know that next time you better do it right.
Yeah.
But, you know, that I'm not happy about it, but, you know, I don't go around screaming, yelling, you know.
Good work environment.
I mean, the last place I worked for, you know, it was such a toxic environment and so stressful. You know, you hated going into work every day, and I could never do that, you know, with my own business. I want everyone to like where they work, you know, have fun, like everybody they're working with, and just pump out good quality work, do cool stuff, and, you know, love their job.
That's it, man. And it reciprocates, you know, down the chain. You know what I mean? It starts at the top, and it works its way down. And, you know, a good environment, you know, a good clean environment, stress free, knowing that you're doing your best every day is great. You know, I think, you know, even, you know, you've had conversations with Keith, you know how he rolls. He's similar way. It's just walking around, everybody today, do your best, you know, and that's it. He lets everybody run the show a little bit, you know, let's everybody do their job. You know, when you have a boss, you know,
only step in when he needs to.
Yes, 100%. Not like, hey, where you at with this? Or, hey, you know, always not checking in, but like just giving you the freedom to do what you're being paid to do. And then you shine more because you know, working in a toxic place, it'd be like, hey, Nick, when's that job getting done? Fucking guy's waiting. And it's just, you know, it's not fun. It's not fun. You feel like you're fucking on a time restraint all day, every day. And, you know, you don't got any breathing room. Someone's breathing down your neck all day. It's just, it's not fun. They're basically not employees at that point. If you're constantly doing that, you know, it's crazy. Do you guys have music playing in the background at the shop a lot?
Yeah, I have, I installed a full surround sound system, and
wow.
I actually went to a shop, a really high end shop, to wrap a car for them, and their shop was so cool. It was like super clean, and they had some like just crazy, like just it sounded like I was in Abercrombie, you know, at the mall. It was just like a minus
the smell.
Yeah, minus the smell. And it just had like this up the beat, you know, music in the background. Not a lot of words, not a lot of like, you know, just a nice beat, you know, house music kind of thing. But some of it had like piano in it, and it was just like super chill, and like it wasn't loud. It was just like background noise. And when we were up there working, we just were like, you know, feeling it and just getting our work done, and didn't, you know, have any distractions. And so now I just kind of like came back and put a surround system in the shop, and now I just play some, you know, laid back music in the background. You know, if the guys don't want to listen to it, they can always put their headphones in and listen to their rap music or whatever. But, you know, we do have customers that walk through the back sometimes, and
same here.
So you don't want to be playing, you know, certain types of music, you know, because some people may get offended by it.
Oh, you don't want to play any Tupac or Biggie in the back, some Nas.
But, you know, after hours, that stuff definitely comes on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we're working, you know, late nights, and, you know, we definitely, you know, jam out to all that good stuff. But, you know, I built an actual office. I call it my design center. And it's like it's in my install bay. So I got an install bay that's about 65 feet long by 55 feet wide.
Wow.
And that's where we do our main, like, solid color changes and any job that's going to take more than, you know, 2-3 days to do.
Yeah. And
my design center's kind of like in the corner, and I got windows on all the edges of the wall. So it's like 3 angled walls, and they all got windows on it. So I can see out into the install bay and watch my guys and make sure everything's going smoothly. But it's also where I meet with clients for art, design meetings and future projects. And it's kind of just, laid out super cool inside here. So like I said, you got to have the right type of music on when you bring somebody back here. You don't want it super loud or you can't hear each other. And then you don't want,
you gotta
motherfuck this and motherfuck that going on.
Oh,
man.
God. We've had that happen a couple of times. Just run to the radio and just put it down.
Yep. It's like, sorry about that.
We go through, we go through stages, like even from 7 this morning until, I don't know, noonish when we were going through the van, we did 3 different genres of music.
Yeah.
I had mine playing first, which was like kind of like don't judge me. George Michael was playing. It was a Pandora station. It's a little bit of all that jazz, you know what I mean? But it's a good vibe. He's got upbeat. The fucking guy was killing it back in the day. Had that playing. Then Keith came in and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna play a little Floyd for a little while." I'm like, "All right, yeah, let's play a little Pink Floyd for a little while." Probably listen to 4 or 5 tracks of that. Yeah. And then we went back to like Gangstar, a little rap music to end the rap, a little aggressive rap music to finish her off. It was great. And you know what's funny? It's just like you said, you walked into the shop that had this music on, whether you even heard it or not, you felt it. And I think that's kind of like the need thing that like you got to have in our environment is that little, I don't know, that little, how would you say it? I don't know. I know there's a Spanish, no, I think there's like a French word out there.
Oh, I don't know any French.
Fuck. Here I am again trying to use my little fucking, my little sayings and shit, and I screw it all up. Somebody will DM me what I'm looking for. It's fucking, what does it say? I forget what it is, but it's a little bit of that vibe, and you felt it, and you felt good while you were there. And I think at the end of the day, a little bit of the music, the vibe, your environment, what you're rapping, colors that you're using in the rap, that all goes to like your mood for the day. That sets the tone. There's nothing better than feeling good when you got a nice solid, like today we rapped a nice solid design, had these nice colorful flowers in the background.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, dude, it was just like stunning. These bright red, pink kind of flower. Dude, all we kept on saying was like, wow, this is a fucking nice rap. It just felt good when we were installing it, You got to have that.
Yeah.
You got to have that. And I think music plays a big thing for our industry. I think a lot of us all have kind of similar genres or like genres. 80s music, rock music, house music. What do you like playing a lot, like your own space, your own office?
I listen to like a lot of like dubstep.
Nice.
Kind of stuff when I'm designing. It kind of just gets me going.
The juices.
Yeah, then anything, 80s rock, big hair band rock.
There you go.
Then old school like 90s rap, stuff that I listened to back when I was in middle school and high school. So
nice. Yeah, I like. Right there with you, man. Love going through all those.
Yep,
for sure. I was gonna ask. Being 5 years in now, knowing what business wise, what do you think the hardest part was? Building the business up. Given that you've only been in business technically 5 years for yourself, but freelancing, doing stuff on the side, installing mobily, but physically having your business brick and mortar. What do you think the hardest part of that was?
To be honest, I think the hardest thing about running a business is just knowing the laws and the in and outs of taxes and what needs to be paid and what you need to have when you have employees and all that good stuff that goes with that. That was the biggest learning. I'm still learning, every year that I go and do my taxes, But, my biggest thing to anybody that's out there starting a business, if they're just a year in or a few years in, get a good CPA, get somebody that you can ask questions, that will answer them, that will show you the right way of doing things. And because if you don't, the government, they'll come and get you.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, for sure.
They will shut you down just as quick as you started. But that was the biggest thing. And then I think the second biggest thing is just your employees, just, hiring a good team and weeding out the bad ones and just trying to, treat them like you would want to be treated if you worked for somebody and just understand where they're coming from,
Right.
But that's the biggest thing, just.
What was your turnaround as far as employees, when you first started?
When I first started, it was a lot less than what I do now.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I just, when I first started, I had the same group of guys, it was me and my brother, and then we had, my production manager and one other installer, and we were like the crew for the good first, year and a half, and then I started bringing in other guys. But, it's weird, like, a lot of the times I bring in, I don't do any non-competes. I don't necessarily believe in them. But it is tough. It is tough.
You're jamming them up for a little while if things don't work out.
And I do bring guys in. I do train them. And I've had people, leave after 6 months to a year and then go work for another company. And it's like I spent all that time training you, and now you're going over there and working for a competitor. But I mean, it's hard.
Is there a way to get around that as far as kind of maybe a non-compete, but maybe some type of like commitment? Like, hey, if you fucking leave, you owe me fucking $5,000 for teaching you how to do shit or something.
I'm sure there is some kind of contract you can write up, but it's just one of those things. I'm the kind of old school, handshake kind of agreement kind of guy, like. Yep. But, sometimes it just doesn't always work out for you, But I think that's where you weed out the good guys and the bad guys,
Yeah.
If they're gonna just up and leave you, after 6 months, 12 months because you haven't gave them a $5 raise, when they feel like they know everything already, and then you got the guys that, want to learn every little thing you could possibly teach them, and they don't ask you for more money. They understand that they're going to get a review after 90 days and then a review after a year, and then they get raises as they go and as they progress. And they just are constantly wanting to learn. You can definitely tell, who those people are after a few months because there's guys that come in, they want to take vinyl home and wrap whatever they can at their house or wrap a buddy's car or practice on the side.
Right.
And then you got those ones that, they're on their phone for most of the day and they can't wait to get out. And then they go out to the bars and come in the next day late, hungover. And it's
I know. It's almost like, I'd hate to say it, but I was in the industry too for 2 years, the construction industry.
Yeah.
It's just the turnarounds very frequent. You don't get the best group of people all the time. But then you get that gem, and sometimes, going through 5 to find that one is worth it. because those people will stay with you for a good while or the longest or still be with you till the very end. You know what I mean? So, that's definitely a tough gig, hiring somebody with, some to no experience, and then teaching them as they, work for you, and then to just get up and leave. That's, whew. I don't know how much of that I can take before I just start saying, you know what, you want to learn? Go take a class. You invest in yourself.
Yeah.
For now, see if this is really the path you want to take. And then come see me after, instead of not that you're wasting your time, but you're building the future for your company, and then having someone just get up and leave because of money. Dude, money will come. You got to put in time. These fucking kids, and I'm going to go back to fucking millennials. They don't want to do shit. They don't want to get their hands dirty. They want to sit behind a fucking desk and make top dollar. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on. You want to fucking make money? Go build a YouTube page. Go do something else.
And that's the problem, man. They see how easy some of these people are making money off Instagram and YouTube, and when they come to like our industry or any other hardworking industry, then they see it's actual hard work, and they're just like, man, I either make some more money or I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, but it's not the case, dude. You can go sling a hammer for the same amount, or maybe a little bit less, whatever the case may be in your demographic, wherever you live in the United States. But you can go swing a hammer all fucking day and be hot and miserable.
Yeah.
Or you could be in, a heated or an AC'd garage, out of the elements, always inside, working
on a Lamborghini or
exactly. Putting on fucking stickers. You're putting stickers on cars, dude. Like, come on.
When I first started working on cars, I was sanding my ass off with no AC.
Yeah.
Breathing in Bondo dust and fiberglass dust, going home every day itching and
covered
and feeling
miserable.
Like crap, And now, my guys, I tell my guys every day that they're super lucky, because I see all these shops that are working either outside, wrapping cars outside, or sweating. They got fans blowing everywhere, and they're just dying, sweating, trying to install these wraps. I'm like, you guys have it made. It's 68 degrees inside this shop.
Oh shit! We walked into the shop today after going to drop off a client's car, and we both walked into the garage. We were like, wow, it's like a fucking ice. Nobody's working in the garage today, and it's like an ice box. It was 68 degrees. I was like, wow, it's cold in here. Like, I had to put my jacket on. It was so cold.
Yeah.
It's the things that you take for granted. Like, you don't think of.
This is only our second summer with AC in the shop.
Wow.
When I had what made me get AC in the shop is that I had a Avery class here, and Justin Pate was the teacher for the class.
Yeah.
And he came in and he felt how warm and humid it was in here, and he about lost his shit. I rented these portable AC units, and I had like 2 or 3 of them laying around the shop, blowing cold air everywhere, water hoses running everywhere, just trying to keep it somewhat cool. And I could just tell that he was so miserable and pissed off that the shop did not have AC. And I was just like, man, I have to get AC in this shop. I just, it's bad when you go to try to install something and you put your arm up behind the material to pop it back loose, and then the sweat from your arm is just caked on the back of the adhesive, and it doesn't want to stick anymore. It's just like, this can't happen,
Yeah. I've totally been there. And you can just feel it in your palms. You just like kind of just popping the vinyl on. You're like, oh, that's going to have a hard time to fucking lay down right there.
Yeah.
Gotta let that piece marinate before I lay that down for a little while. Yeah, and then on the other side of it, and it being like really gummy when the humidity really, it's not the heat. The heat doesn't really affect the vinyl. It's the humidity that gets in there, and it just if you peel off like a foot of the panel, you could just feel how heavy the panel is.
It starts sagging on its own.
The edges start curling.
Nothing lines up.
You might as well have printed on an eco-solvent printer and laminated it right away.
Yeah.
Cause that's the same exact shit. You're gonna, it's gonna hit the car and it's gonna just instantly stick. It's gonna be really bad news. I used to work like that. I worked like that for 5 years out of a garage.
I worked like that. Like I said, I worked like that. That's how I started. Always sweating your balls off, and
it's not good. It's not good for the employees either.
No.
Running out with waters. Hey, stay hydrated. Don't forget. It's and doing mobile jobs, they're not always the best or the easiest. You're not able to control the area. I just not often do we do mobile jobs unless it's like an interior job, but cars 100% drop them off.
Yep. Semis you most likely have to do them outside.
Yeah. Or have some of it inside.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of maybe close off the door sections a little bit and have half of it hanging out just so you're semi comfortable.
Yeah, that's one thing I need to do to my shop is raise the doors. My doors right now are only 10 foot.
10 foot.
Yeah, they're like 10.3, so I can fit most box trucks. Food trucks are usually iffy. If they don't have that little vent on the top, they'll fit in.
Yeah. Good trick. Let the air out of the tires.
Oh, we've done it.
just like 1 inch of air, so it just moves off of the. It's not on the rim, but close.
Been there, done that.
You gotta do what you gotta do, dude. And you get the client saying, "Yeah, 10 foot, no problem," and then it's like fucking 1 inch too much. You're like, "Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me." It's the nature of the beast, What is the outside of your building brick, or is it something you can just knock
brick.
out?
No, it's brick. It's brick. You can definitely knock it out. It's just I'm still trying to figure out how long I'm gonna stay in this building.
Oh, making moves.
Yeah, I mean, I wanna eventually build a building.
Wow.
And then have it as my production facility.
Yeah.
And then possibly do like 2 or 3 pop-up like shops just in the middle of like some strip malls as like central areas, that, take in jobs and could do small little things, but all the big stuff gets sent to our production building. But that's definitely my 10-year goal.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I pay a lot for where I'm at right now. I could definitely probably buy a building for the amount that I lease this building out for. But it's been good. It's been great, for me as far as walk in. Like I said, like right across the street, we have this thing called it's called King's Auto Mall. So it's like a big giant circle, and it has every dealership in that circle.
Wow.
Every brand, the only brands it doesn't have is like Ferrari and Lamborghini, and it doesn't have a Mercedes over there. But pretty much everything else is in that auto mall. So we get a lot of work from the dealerships. We get a lot of work from customers that just bought a brand new car that hate the chrome on it and they want to come over and get a chrome delete. So it's been good to us over here. So that's why I haven't necessarily complain too much about it, but
yeah, I mean, if you're getting steady revenue because of your location, and to be honest, your location is pretty much everything. If it's a pain in the ass to get where you are, your client's not going to drive out to see you.
Sure.
And if you're central and right at the heart of where everything's happening, they'll come and see you. They can drop off, walk somewhere, come back, enjoy the day, whatever. It's nice. Are you you really don't mess with paint protection film, right?
No, I actually try. I mean, I've done it before. It's one of those things that if I do it, I want to be the best at it. And I haven't had too much experience in it, and neither has any of my guys. I've had some window tinters here that work out of our shop that we offer window tint and paint protection, and they've done it for me. But now I just got out of doing window tint a little over a year and a half ago or so, and I actually teamed up with a shop here in town that they just kill the window tint game. They do anywhere from 25 to 30 cars a day. Wow. and 5 to 10 paint protection cars a day. And they've been in business for close to 20 years now, so they have a lot of clientele. And they used to do a lot of vinyl work too, but we made that partnership to where I send, all my window tint and paint protection to them, and they send me all their vinyl and sign inquiries. So it works out great that way. And I feel, some of these shops out here, they try to do too much. They try to get,
right,
a little bit of everything, and they just, aren't the best at everything. I try to just stick with what we're the best at and just focus on that.
That's the best, that's a great piece of advice. And, when you're starting off, you want to do a lot of everything because you don't want to say no to anything. You need, at the end of the day, you need to make money. And if it's designing a set of business cards for $150, then so be it. I'll sit down in front of the computer for an hour and bang that out. And, you let that go for so long, and then you lose track of, your main goal, which is, whether it's the sign industry or the vehicle wrap or even just straight cut lettering jobs. That's the easiest thing you could possibly do. And when each one crosses each other and you're not able to complete either one of the tasks because you're doing too much, time to reevaluate the business. Start cutting the services down. That was the best thing I ever did. I did everything when I had my shop. And when it took me longer to make a pan face, saw the fucking 1-inch aluminum, put the fucking little things inside the aluminum, rivet that shit on, make the frame, put the aluminum on top, rivet the fucking aluminum to the tubes, and then I'm finally to the point where I can wrap it. It's like, dude, half of my morning's gone. I could have had 4 cars lettered by then and made 5 times more money. Yeah.
So I still do, I do all the business card flyers, banners, feather flags, trade show tents, backdrops, all that stuff. But a lot of that stuff isn't done in-house. I design everything. Yeah, I design everything, and then I just use my distributors that I use for certain things to where I just pretty much place the order and it's here, next day or however long it takes for them to make it, and I just mark it up, But, as far as everything else is done in-house, as far as design, print, and install. So I just stay away from, paint protection. I even sell wheels, but I don't push it, wheels and tires.
Wow.
But it's kind of just one of those things that I offer. If one of my solid color change customers wants to add some wheels, then, I have the resources to order some wheels for them. And, they pretty much come already mounted and balanced, and I just got to slap them on, and I make a few $100 on the sale.
There you go. A little upsell, and you didn't have to do much.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily promote it, push it, I mainly promote and push, the vinyl wraps and printing side.
Yeah. And you guys push it very well. And even in your social media marketing, the videos you guys create. Do you have an in-house video person that does a lot of that stuff, or do you do a lot of that stuff yourself?
So I do most of my Instagram posting, and I used to do a lot of my own video stuff, but I've just been so busy. And I had this young kid that goes to high school that's right down the street. He came in, and he's real big in the car industry, and he loves photography and videography, and I bought him all the equipment that he needs, like the gimbal and the high res, DSLR camera and the drone and all that fun stuff. And we kind of work together, and he just kind of comes in every day and takes photos and video of all the guys working on different projects, and he kind of just puts it together. So, I do have an in-house, videographer, photographer, and we kind of just work close together. He sits right next to me at my desk, my design center.
Nice.
And then, so he does a good job.
Yeah, I can clearly tell. I mean, I think I watched a video. It was this morning, the Bengal Tigers one, I think that went up.
Yeah, the Jeep.
Yes, with the black stripes.
Yep.
That was cool. But you know what? It's just a clip like that where it's not just a photo and it's stagnant. It's just one thing and you can see it. It's like, oh, okay, cool. But you kind of built up a small little story within 30 seconds of, hey, the client wanted a Bengals Tiger themed vehicle, and snippets of you guys rapping it and the music, the vibe. I got it. I watched the whole thing and I got into it. Yeah. Just the music really catches you, and the way your logo comes up, like at the end.
Yep.
Just little shit like that people don't take in consideration. And like, I know what it takes to make that shit.
Work.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
That ain't easy. Ain't easy. That's hours of shit. Like, I know.
We sat out there for probably a half hour till my one installer, Logan, he was so nervous to talk in front of the camera, and we probably sat there for a half hour on different takes of him trying to get it right. He couldn't even, it was hard.
Yeah, people get camera shy.
Yeah, they don't see it,
Yeah, for 30 seconds worth of footage, you probably got like 3 hours.
So we did a commercial, a nationwide commercial for Sprint.
Really?
Probably 2 years ago. Yeah, it was all about. They did like a campaign on how Sprint helps small businesses.
Yeah,
and they interviewed a bunch of businesses in the area, and they actually Skyped with us, and they actually picked us. They liked our story the best, so we did a full on commercial. We were on billboards, we were on radio, we were on TV. I was on little like billboards in the malls and stuff like that, and it's crazy how nervous, if you're not used to doing it, how crazy it is to get in front of a camera and try to talk like that.
Well, you gotta sound intelligent. Yeah. Unlike me on the podcast.
And every time I hear the commercial, I just cringe because I'm like, oh my God, I sound like such a douchebag. I'm probably going to do the same thing when I hear this podcast.
No.
I was like, oh my God, like, why does my voice sound like that? Do I really sound like that?
No, you're fine, dude. I mean, it's semi-scripted. It's like, hey, you got to talk about this. Unlike me, it's like we're just sitting down, just having a conversation, That's cool. Do you think doing something like that helped your business?
It was hard to tell. Like, we had a lot of people that knew us.
Yeah.
Say that they saw the commercial, they saw us on the billboard, they saw us, here and there. But like for a while, we didn't have people coming in and saying, "Oh, I saw you on the commercial that you guys do raps and this and that." Well, come to find out, we did have quite a few people reach out to us that actually saw the commercial or saw the billboard, and came to us and said, that's how we heard of you. We heard you on the radio.
Wow.
So, but it was, the commercial was the coolest just because it showed us, we actually showed us inside the shop. It showed me like designing. We actually did a rap for Sprint, on one of their sales rep vehicles. And it showed me designing it on the computer. It showed us rolling out the 3M material on our table and going over the design with, me and my wife. And then it showed us installing the wrap, and, it was like a cool, like, just video, like, kind of bringing the wrap industry to the corporate world, like stuff that people don't see. And it was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's not someone working out of their little dinky garage, cutting stickers and printing stuff. It shows and it represents the industry well,
Yeah.
legitimate, this is the process. This is the way we do it. This should be the way that everybody does it, or semi of what everybody does it. Everybody does everything a little differently, but this is the steps to get a good product. And, you think if people, you think you're on YouTube for that commercial?
Yeah, we have it on our YouTube commercial.
Oh, you do? All right.
On our YouTube channel. Yeah, if you actually go to our website, it's actually either vividwraps.com. You can click on the YouTube link at the bottom. We got these little like icons at the bottom of our webpage. There's like a transit van that's wrapped like Facebook, and there's a transit van wrapped like the Instagram, and then there's a transit van wrapped like the YouTube. So those are all links that you click on. It takes you right to it. You can definitely see the commercial.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to look at that and watch it. That's neat. So that's cool. That's cool, man. I mean, that's free publicity at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
You got on every platform.
And they paid us to do the vehicle wrap, and they paid us to do the commercial. It was like a win-win situation.
Yeah, complete win-win. How many other companies were kind of in the running for it?
I think there's like 10 companies they told us.
Wow.
10 companies they interviewed in the Cincinnati area.
That's unbelievable. You seem to be in a good central, like, Cincinnati's a hot spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, is coming up, and there's been a lot of reports coming out that's saying that we're like one of the top 10 cities to live in, to visit. It's kind of an up and coming city.
Nice. Have you lived in Cincinnati your whole life?
Yep, born and raised.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, it's always cool to kind of grow up in the area you're in, build a business in the area you're in. It's just kind of like a lifer, you know what I mean? That's
sure.
It's your town, you're representing, and it's just good. And at the end of the day, it reciprocates back to your kids. Growing up in that location, hopefully one of them will kind of take the reins and
I just wish our sports teams would finally get over that playoff curse. We make it to the playoffs, but we just can't get any playoff wins.
It's all good. You guys will get there sometime. Boston does pretty well, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys got one of the best sports team cities in
in history.
Last year, you guys won the Super Bowl, the World Series, and the NBA championship. Something like that, or
I think it was just two out of the 4. I think we got. Yeah, hockey. I don't want to talk about hockey. Hockey's a soft spot, especially in the Wrap Solutions headquarters. we got the shaft a little bit at the end, but that's all right. The Celtics did really good this year. It was okay. I'm not a big basketball guy.
Neither am I.
Yeah, but I watched a couple games. My brother-in-law and my father-in-law, they're nuts. Whenever the TV's on, it's a sports game playing.
Yeah.
So I just keep up with that, But working with athletes too, wrapping their cars and stuff like that has been super cool and fun, and kind of getting a sneak peek of their life a little bit, outside of, being on the field or being on the court or being on the ice. It's kind of neat, with that type of demographic that we deal with too,
Yeah. Now, do you guys get mostly hockey players?
Hockey's been the most people we've had as far as athletes that have gotten their cars wrapped. I think we're 4 or 5 hockey players, I believe. I think three or 4 Bruins, and we're doing one this week for a New Jersey Devils hockey player.
Gotcha.
Which probably I think we'll be posting on Friday, possibly. I know we're wrapping it tomorrow. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, and we just did a Patriots. I think he's a linebacker.
Somebody in Cincinnati bought Gronkowski's old vehicle. It's been driving around in Cincinnati.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a Porsche. Might be I don't know if it's a Porsche.
Panamera. I always say that wrong. It's a fucking difficult. It's a tongue twister a little bit, right?
It is. But I actually I've wrapped Jeremy Hill's vehicle before. He was a former Bengals player that plays for the Patriots now.
Nice. What kind of car was he driving?
It was a Range Rover, full size Range Rover.
Ooh.
We did a full satin. It was like a satin or a matte charcoal gray with jams and all.
Oh, jams! You like jams, huh?
I do not like jams.
Jamming out. How do you get them to wrap the jams? I wouldn't even recommended it.
I try not to. I try to price it so high that they don't want to do it, but people just go with it.
Oh my god!
It's like I tell them the price of the wrap, and then they're like, "Well, what about the jams?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a lot of work. It's almost as much as wrapping the whole entire vehicle. It's almost the same cost as wrapping the whole vehicle."
Right, with less material.
Yeah, I mean normally for a 4-door SUV like that, it's like an extra $2,000.
Yeah, $1,000 a side. Yeah, sounds about right.
I mean, we pull the doors off. We pull, you got to pull the wiring harnesses out of most cars. So now with the newer cars are a little bit easier. You have a plug that unplugs, and then 2 bolts that out of the hinge, and the hinge lifts right off. But they're definitely getting easier as it goes on. I mean, we got a Tesla Model S coming in 2 weeks that we got to do the jams.
Oh my god!
And I don't even like touching Teslas.
No, the fucking door handles are like crazy.
Yeah, that car is just a pain in the ass all over.
How often do you get into like a nightmare when it gets to something like that? When do you call the client and say, "Hey, nah, it ain't gonna happen"? Or do you just figure it out?
I've actually have never done that, but I think it might happen with this McLaren that we got here. I don't know if you ever seen a McLaren 720S.
Sure. You don't want to pull the doors off of that. How the fuck you do that?
But geez, man, they got these like deep vents that go down the doors like a 1.5 feet deep, and I don't even know how those would even like come out to wrap them, or I've done one McLaren before this one, and it was like a 570, and we did it in like a blue chrome. But this one is just so much more complex than that one.
Put the feelers out there. Are you on the Wrap Society Facebook page?
No, I'm not.
Shit, I'll have to send you a link to that.
See, I'm so bad with that stuff. Like, I reached out to one shop that's up in Columbus that works on them a lot. They do a lot of paint protection, a lot of paint correction and detailing on those McLarens. Mm-hmm. I reached out to them and see if there's any tricks, or anything that I need to keep in mind when we're going to start taking it apart. But I haven't heard back from them yet.
Jeez, yeah, it's always tough. I would McLaren. Who do I know that wrapped the McLaren? You know what? I'll do a little research today and find some people. I'd probably say like maybe Auto Trimmers up in God, where is he? Minnesota? Auto Trimmers.
Okay.
He's done a couple high ends. He does a lot of PPF. I'm almost positive he had to have wrapped a McLaren at some point. And I can ask because I know what you're talking about, because it's almost like it's like 2 skins on the door, and it's just a open in the back, right? On the McLaren, on the door.
Yeah, well, it's got this like vent that goes. It's kind of from like the back wing area, and it kind of goes down towards where the mirrors are, and it kind of just dips down like super deep.
It's just like a tunnel, right?
Yeah,
it's like a
pretty much
half moon type thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. How do you? Yeah, you'd have. Yeah. Honestly, I know what I would. Yeah, I'm like thinking about it. You'd almost have to do that first.
Yeah.
And come out of it, get all the gather out of it, and then come down in front of the door. Or you put a seam.
It does have a seam. It's a separate piece that sits down in there.
Oh, yeah. How the fuck are you gonna, if you got a big hand, there's no way, right?
Yeah, I just don't know.
You need a skinny bastard in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't know if you just take it apart. It's kind of like the BMW i8s. They got that little vent area on the quarter panel that goes underneath the wing that comes up the side of the hatch.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to that piece, but,
there's got to be a way. I'm sure once you lift the door, there's got to be a screw or something there, a tech screw or...
But, these higher end cars are normally super easy to take apart. A lot easier than some cars.
I wouldn't even attempt it, dude.
Yeah.
For us, it's surface wraps.
Really?
For us to take apart bumpers and get into all that nonsense, it's too much time.
It is.
You lose. I mean, not that you're losing money, but it's just the time. If you're losing money, not because of the process, but you're paying someone to do that. It's not part of the budget. Yeah. You spend a couple grand or a few grand on wrapping a car. Some cars, can you get away with it? Sure. A black car with a nice color. But if you got a white vehicle and they're coming in for a satin black, matte black, fuck, gotta go a little deeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we just did a big fleet job for our local Mercedes dealership, and we had to wrap like 24 S-classes for them. And they were full color changes, and we actually did it with just taking the handles off and the taillights out and the badges.
Yeah.
We left everything else on. We were getting them down to where we were doing full color changes in 6 hours.
See?
Yeah.
Imagine if you were taking the bumpers off, taking the lights out, taking the fog lights out. Dude, you're 6 hours in disassembly and reassembly.
For sure.
Just that alone, Who, and at the end of the day, who wants to take, maybe let's just average it out to like 2 hours disassembly, 2 hours reassembly. Who wants to take an extra 4 hours out of the day after you just spent all day wrapping it, putting shit back together? Yeah. I'm not motivated to do that.
No, well, here we got guys just for that.
Yeah. Dedicated.
Yeah, well, some of my younger guys that are just still in their first year, that's kind of part of their training is to first they learn how to clean the cars and prep them and get all that, good stuff done first. And then they move to removing and taking apart. And then they start learning the squeegeeing and cutting and all that stuff. And as they progress and graduate, then we bring in another guy that, we teach that stuff to, and it kind of just train people to do the basics first, and then hopefully they become good installers and don't leave me.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
Stay for a while. We don't bite.
Yep.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's a tough side of business. Is the loyalty, to stay and commit, when times are tough, not to jump ship so fast that, the tides go up, tides come down. It's just a wave you have to take, being in business, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But, the people, that are there and that are loyal, and, hopefully people will shine and stick around, and,
have a successful business, because at the end of the day, you're only as good as your team is.
For sure.
It's you got to have that, especially to be in this business right now. You only being 5 years in, but you can't do it alone, or you can't do it with two guys anymore. No, you get thrown to the wolves or something like that. You gotta have more than three. Is the kind of magic number I've said numerous times. 3, 4 people, maybe max. You could run a pretty good, decent business.
Yeah.
Doing it all alone, running around with your head cut off, nah, no way. Not a way to be efficient anymore. But all right, we're gonna be running almost 2 hours now.
Wow.
Yeah, right. It goes by quick, don't it?
It does. It does.
It goes by real quick. I want to be super respectful of your time. I know your family is back at home and waiting for you to get home tonight from a long day's work. I appreciate your time that you gave to me today to talk for a little bit and to be on the show.
No, thanks for having me on. I've always loved your podcast, and I listen to it whenever I get time to sit down. And normally it's when I'm driving on vacation, and the kids have got the
headphones on.
Movies. Yeah, the kids have got the movies playing throughout the system of the car, and I'm like, I can't listen to Barney anymore.
Wow, your kids are still listening to Barney? That was back when I was growing up.
It came back around. My daughter started watching it, and I mean, God. But
Wow.
they're more into like trolls and stuff like that. But it's so hard to listen to that while you're driving.
Oh, yeah.
So I throw the headphones on and put on the All Wrapped Up podcast and listen to the cool content you have, and it's just great. How this industry is, and how everybody's is really like a brotherhood.
For sure.
I haven't really met anybody in the industry that was like a complete asshole that doesn't want to tell you any tricks or tips or how to make your business better. Everybody's just awesome in the industry, and I couldn't ask for a better industry to be in.
Yeah, for sure. It's not like the sign guys, the old time sign guys.
Yeah.
Those fucking poor miserable bastards.
Yeah.
Don't want to talk to nobody. Leave me alone. Get out of here.
Figure it out yourself.
Yeah. I did it. You can find it out. Use that YouTube shit.
That's why I'm super excited to go to RapsCon.
You lucky bastard. Everybody I've talked to, literally, I think probably my last 5 episodes, everybody brings that up. I'm going to RapsCon. Are you going? I'm like, oh, damn it. Did you go last year or no?
No, I haven't been to one in a long time. I think the last one I went to was the one that was in Indy, because that's only like an hour and a half away from Cincinnati, but everything else has been like, down in Florida or down on the West Coast, and it's just been so far away. And I decided, my crew has been absolutely killing it the past couple months, that I'm taking the whole entire shop on a trip out there.
Awesome.
And so I would say I got 12 guys going. I think 8 of them have never been to California, so it's going to be cool. We're going to go out for 3 days and go to the show on Friday or Thursday and Friday, and then we're going to cruise the coast on Saturday and fly out late Saturday night. So I think it'll be a good experience for the guys and a good team building event. Maybe they can learn some stuff, and we can talk to some people in the industry. So
that's amazing, dude. That's all. That brings up good team morale right there.
It does, and that's what I strive on. I try to make sure my guys know that I'm here for them. And right. I try to take care of them as best as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And that if you just work hard and do your best, I promise you it will pay off in the long run.
For sure. For sure. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys are going to have a blast there. So much eye candy to look at, new printers. So probably usually new products get released. So, new materials, new colors. That's always exciting. That's probably the best part of being there, is seeing all the new stuff before it actually really gets launched, that week or the next month or so. Make sure to check out Justin Pate's booth. If he does anything that he did last year, it was amazing. Let everyone cut, little pieces of different materials off the roll and wrap it on a car, and from chromes to, stuff that most of us can't even afford. I'm
going to stop by there and let them know I got AC now, so you can come back to my shop.
Yeah, don't be scared, Justin. Don't be scared. Nick got some AC for you. Just for you. Is he coming to do another training soon?
Well, I did one after that, and John Dever was the coach, which he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He taught me, he gave me some tips and stuff, and some of the things that he showed me has just changed my business,
Good.
So, he's awesome. I think he's going to be the main teacher that comes here now, because I know he has family in the Cincinnati area. So he kind of has that on lockdown now, to where he comes to teach at my shop every time he comes to Cincinnati.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude, I'm super happy. We're going to have him on the show
nice
soon. And just a plethora of knowledge, man. That guy's just, I haven't had the luxury of talking to him face to face and having a legit conversation. But, man, just the content that he puts out on his Instagram is so motivational. Like,
sure.
When I see posts and I'm reading them, I'm just like, dude, I'm totally like not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, this guy is like pushing me without even him knowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is a super chill dude. He's down to earth. He won't put on a front. He tells you how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool that he's right there, and Justin can go sweat somewhere else, I guess. Love you, Justin.
Yeah, Justin's a cool dude too.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He's definitely awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, Nick, I appreciate you. Is there anything that you might want to bring up that we didn't talk about that you might bring value to our listeners?
Not that I know of. I can't think of anything right now. Just follow us on Instagram at vividwraps.com or at vividwraps, and then go follow our YouTube channel. We just are now starting, and we only got a couple videos up, but subscribe. We're going to get some more content up here soon. We've been working on really, really hard on videos at the shop. So, besides that, follow us.
Definitely. Vivid Wraps.
If you see us out at WrapsCon, come say hi.
Oh yeah, you guys would be rocking the Vivid Wraps gear, and
I made a special WrapsCon shirt. I'll have to send you one.
Oh shit, he went all out.
It's straight up Cali dreaming, old school '80s design with the palm trees and.
Oh shit, I'm a schmedium. So
yep. Okay.
I'm a schmedium. I'll wear it Thursday and Friday in memory.
In memory.
Yeah. of kind of being there. I'll be in the bay rapping, thinking about you guys, having a good time.
Nice.
Awesome. Cool. Nick, I appreciate you coming on the show and taking the time out of your day to talk to us for a little while.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
What's up, folks? Hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Thank you to everyone that tuned in, and thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to IBOW Training, offering a variety of training options such as training at your shop, group training classes nationwide, and even private design print profile training through remote login. Learn more about IBOW at ibowtraining.com. Thank you also to We Print Wraps, the industry's #1 source for wholesale printed wraps, offering free nationwide shipping across the U.S. and Canada on all orders over $500. And don't forget, exclusive listeners of this podcast save 5% on your next order when you use promo code all wrapped up at checkout. See why industry pros love them and visit WePrintWraps.com. Till next time, folks, that's a wrap.